Well, good Saturday morning. I just want to check in. I have nothing formally done to do things, but I think maybe a Saturday check-in might be good. I'm just doing a Saturday check-in, OC, and um it's Sunday. Okay, it's Sunday in OC land, but Saturday morning in but it's Saturday morning in the good old United States. I love my OC. Anxious OC is a person that I met on Discord through Kevin McCarn's little raccoon commander, whatever, Kevin McCarn's family. I call it a family because they feel like family, and OC is one of the best women I know from there. And I love her dearly. Like I said, I didn't really plan anything out. But guess what I'm doing? Because it's hard to keep these things at a minimum, these videos. And so I am starting a timer. And it's timed for 1 hour and 1 hour only. I don't know how Mr. Kevin Baker, Mr. Kevin McCarn doesn't pay attention to time. I don't know how Kevin Baker, Bill Bean, Anxious OC, she has her own, videos that she does. Shrimpy, I love that kid, that guy. I call him a kid. He doesn't look like a man to me, but I mean, not in a bad way either. That sounds bad, but it's not in a bad way. I love shrimp. Kevin Baker, Bill Bean. There's a lot of YouTubers I've been watching over the past year, and I've been getting. Oh, Housatonic. Can't forget him. He's a great guy. Check out his videos. Kevin McCarn, McCairn. You check out his videos for the latest about this virus and science, and grifters. And what I've been doing was, I've been thinking about doing this for a long time. I was writing a borderline book last year when I met Kevin, and then the virus happened. And one of the hardest things to do when you're not a PhD is to write about something that is about health, because science is very unforgiving if you mess up. Kevin's a good example of how science is not forgiving if you mess up. The grifters, and there's a few that have those PhDs in other areas that are speaking in areas they are not qualified to talk in. And it concerns me because one's a psychiatrist. We won't mention names. So, I'm working on getting monetization. Alright, that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. I don't mind if I'm bringing something that's important to somebody if they want to make a donation, which I had somebody say this in my very first stream, which I thought was a little premature because I'm just starting out. I wouldn't accept the money anyway. However, I am seeking monetization. I think I'm saying the word right. OC, if I'm saying anything wrong, just let me know. And I want to try to get demonetization in case somebody is getting something out of this and they want to help out. I can't do much. I mean, I am being realistic. Some people don't understand it with me. I am sore. I'm getting older. I had a baby when I was older, and when you have a baby, it does change your body. Okay, women will tell you this all the time. There are things that happen to your body that don't go away after pregnancy. And since I'm going through menopause, it's getting even worse because of I'm getting sore. Bottom line. The other thing is it's not a very moral thing to know that I do take a lot of time off from work. And this is called know thyself. I take a lot of time off, and it's not going to get any better. I try to make it work. It got a little better this week because I caught myself. And, OC can attest to this. I have a lot of miscommunications in Discord. It's just me not understanding. I go off, and then people are insulted, and people get upset. And it's not right to do to people either way. People will say, oh, I get it, it's okay. It's not okay to me. All right, maybe I'm being a little hard on myself, but I have to be because, this is the only way I'm going to learn and grow, is being totally honest with what I do. And I'm concerned with what I do, not what they do. They can trigger me all they want. It's what I do. I don't want to compromise who I am. How did I get to know who I am? I still don't know who I am. And that's a borderline trait. We don't know who we are. And it's because I latched on to people early on and tried to live vicariously through them, which I think is funny. We should all use voice chat more because then you can understand where people are coming from better. Because when you're chatting in a chat room, you don't have the benefits of seeing a facial expression or hearing the voice and the tone of voice. A lot of times I am such a wise butt. It's unbelievable. It's I agree with OC. We should use voice chat more. And we should all give people more chances to be human. This year, for everyone, not just for us, it's been a really, really difficult year on our mental health. Not only have we been locked in, people aren't used to staying in. Most people aren't used to staying in. Okay, I've been a hermit for a while. I don't mind staying in. However, that's because I don't want to go out there. I've been learning. I hate not getting along with people, and I hate hurting people's feelings. If I hurt somebody's feelings, it crushes me. And people don't realize that with borderlines. A lot of times it depends on whether you're an introvert or an extrovert, on where your anger is placed on. Did you do it? You did it. You did it. You didn't do it to me. My anger stems from inside what I did to make somebody else angry. That's all it is. Taking responsibility for somebody else's moods. All right? But I am trying to take responsibility for my own actions. I don't care. And OC, can I use you as an example? I don't care if OC calls me a total freaking asshole to my face. Or if OC sits there and goes, you're a woman, and she uses a slur to me. Or, let's put it this way, you're crazy. My goal is to take that, you're crazy, and not even care, because I can't control what OC says, and control what I do as a reaction. Because when I'm controlling my reaction, my brain is actually calming me down to where I'm not going off. I don't know if that makes any sense. That's one of my goals. This is my good morning check-in. That's one of my goals in life. And it's in life. Is to be able to, in the moment, have a trigger and not, and just realized I don't care what you call me. I don't care what you say. It's just, I'm not going to control what you're going to say or do. I can't. All right? That's just beyond my control. I can control how I react to something, how I think about something. A good example is about the rain. I got so tired of hearing people get so mad at rain. It's raining. I'm depressed. Why does it have to rain? I'm depressed. They let rainy days depress them. Of course, if you're in OC land and you are having floods, it's hard not to complain, If you're having a flood, if you're having too much rain, it's very hard not to complain. But to me, oh, God is watering his flowers. And who's his most beautiful flowers? Us. Without the rain and without water, we would not exist. We're 70% water. This is where knowledge is power. I can change. It's raining. Okay, it's raining. It just means I need water. Okay? I was talking to OC, I think it was yesterday. I'm not sure because our days are messed up when we're together. And I was asking her about the flooding. Because it just seems, I heard that wildfires are a part of the nature's way of rebirthing. It's a growing pain. It's like molting. It's like having a baby inside you developing. The earth goes through cycles, and one of the cycles is a rebirth. And even with our seasons, spring is the rebirth, which is why people tend to get out of some of their funk because they're shut in all winter. But that's not what I'm talking about. What I was doing was I was trying to make sense of their natural disasters there. Because I don't know. I don't live there. I'm not going to tell OC what it is. I'm just going to ask her about it because it's interesting. So wildfires are a way of helping the earth renew itself. Okay? And what I mean by that is oh God, I don't know the proper wording. So if I say things the wrong way, then just please understand it. The first thing that happens is the fire destroys it, breaks it down into chemicals, and puts it back into the earth. Okay, like trees and stuff. So they had wildfires last year, and I remember the wildfires because Bill Bean had a big prayer session with everybody, and we prayed. Good morning, Jigs. We prayed for Australia and for those wildfires to stop. Then this year, all of a sudden, I'm hearing flooding. Oh my goodness. So what I said to Anxious Oshi, trying to make sense of it, you know what, they had the wildfires, now the flooding comes. So next year, they're going to have a lush green landscape. So maybe, good morning, Jack. Good morning, Jigs. So maybe that's how we have to think of life. But what I'm trying to say, and I gotta stop yelling, because every time somebody comes in the room, I yell it, like, oh, good morning, like you're across the room or something, and that's funny. I noticed I do that. So anyways, what happens is, I am trying to control my thoughts, my actions. Even if somebody's being a total butt cake to me, okay? I don't care what you call me. I don't care what you say about me, but I do care how I react, and I do care how that person feels when they leave their interaction with me. I'm not going to mention names, Mr. Jigaboy, but I love this man. He's a good man, and I took things wrong way. But even if I didn't like him, when we had a little misunderstanding, it's not an argument. So anyways, when you have a little misunderstanding, every interaction, my goal is most interactions with people, I want them to leave either feeling okay about themselves or better than what they felt. And if I'm reacting with my borderline and I'm projecting outwardly that it's your fault, your fault, your fault, you're an asshole, you're this, you're that, you're this, you're that, you're, I'm going to say it, you're racist. You know, I mean, if you constantly are putting labels on the other person, how is that helping you? How is that helping you? You're projecting your feelings onto the other person. That's not helping you in your life with your people around you, like my daughter. That's not helping. Because every thought and every word you do is coming from your heart. So if you're sitting there and you're hard on other people and calling other people names, you're making yourself feel bad. Next time you get upset and you start calling somebody an asshole, actually feel how your chest feels. Your words matter. Not only to other people, but more importantly, for how you feel. So that's one of my goals. I mean, how can I, and what did I just do? Oh, there. I always hit my things and miss stuff. So one of my goals is to, in the moment, be able to stop and not react off it and not make somebody feel like they're a piece of crap or they did something wrong or feel like they have to defend themselves. All of those are a rotten place for people to be. They shouldn't have to. They shouldn't have to feel that way. Well, the other type of borderline internalizes. So you got the externalize. It's all your fault. You made me do this. You made me do that. I am a Christian woman. All right. And I tend to not like to push my beliefs on others because everybody believes differently. And we're instructed by Paul not to do that in the different books. We're instructed to tell about the good news. That's it. We're not instructed to sit there and tell somebody who is not of our faith that they're wrong for feeling or wrong for doing something, even if it's murder. Okay. But, we all inherently know that murdering somebody is wrong. Okay. That's inbred in our innermost being that we know that. But I'm talking about, I'm getting old. I am getting so old. I'm talking about, for me, I'm a Christian woman, okay? OC, help me out. I lost my train of thought. I'm a Christian woman. Why was I bringing this up? This is bad. I was bringing this up because we're not supposed, why was I bringing this up? Holy cannoli. OC, I did something bad. Not bad. Okay, bad and good are out of my language. I did something. I was talking about, see, this is why I need the steps, about what I'm doing. But I'm a Christian woman. And the first thing I am is a child of God. And I care about how I make others feel. All right, I forgot what I was saying about the Christianity part, so we're going to leave that out for now because I'm not here to preach to anybody. I'm here because I'm trying to help people with borderline that are just newly diagnosed, especially, to understand that it's not this major debilitating punishment or thing that's going to kill them unless they don't work on themselves. Okay? You need to do work on yourselves. Okay, more about me in 23:28. All right, I am watching the clock. This is hard. All right. All right. Here's what I'm working on. I'm working on getting monetization, so I need people to subscribe to me until I need the watch hours. The most important right now is I need 1,000 subscribers. That's a lot. And then the watch hours, I just figure will come in time, whatever happens. So if somebody does want to donate, they can. This is something I can do. This is where I was going with it. This is something I can totally do. True. Thank you, Anxious. But this is something I can totally do to just get an extra money. Do I expect to make a living off it? I don't think so. Do I expect to, I can make $100 in a year. $100 is better than what I got now. Okay, extra. So it's baby steps, I don't expect to make a living off of YouTube. I don't expect to get rich, and I don't expect people to give me money. But I figured there was a girl, like I said, was premature. She wanted to donate to me and give me a super chat in my first video, and I'm glad she wasn't able to, because I think that's a little premature, and I don't want to take somebody's money, especially if we're borderline and we're reacting off our feelings and we're just throwing it out there, okay? That's not the goal. I don't want to get rich off of somebody else's illness. Again, with the not naming names, about a particular man who is a psychiatrist that is speaking about things he knows nothing about. Getting rich off of people and their situations. So, with that, that's how I'm not going to get taken down, by the way, doing that way. I really don't like that man, and the reason why I don't like that above the others, that man, is because he is a psychiatrist. He should be totally ashamed of himself for doing what he's doing. And when we were in those calls with Mr. McCarn, and he totally sidestepped my question about what I could do in a natural healing way to help myself with my borderline and my depression. To get through this, what advice he had, he totally took me and ignored me and threw me off. He booted me. That, I was feeling the waters. That told me everything. Because I am all about helping people with mental health issues. He is in the 1% of the bad people out there that's using his position for his own gain and doesn't give a schniznit about his profession and other people healing. So, I'm talking in circles. But he angers me. He's a psychiatrist. And he feeds off of people's fears. He uses people, the women that are, what are they called? They're called Muslims, that have to cover their face in the Muslim tradition, which is none of his damn business to begin with unless he's Muslim. And even then, that's none of his damn business. And he says, oh, it's a shame thing. It's a shame. He puts the thoughts into your head. Is what he's doing. He's playing a mind game. And he knows what he's doing. And he knows how to do it. And that's why he's doing it. For his agenda to get rich. The mask today is nothing more than a tool in the toolbox as used as PPP, personal protective equipment, PPE, puff puff pass. I learned about that yesterday in Kevin Baker's stream. But PPE to help you not get or spread a particle, a viron particle. All right, but he's got you thinking. And he's putting out into society that it's this whole big shame thing that they do to make you ashamed of yourself. We already have a problem with borderline in who we are and being ashamed of a lot of things in our life that's happened. And I don't want to list those here about me, and I don't want to know those about you, because that's personal and that's between you and your therapist. But I'll tell you, he ought to be damned ashamed of himself, and he ought to. I don't know how the man sleeps at night. When he meets his maker, it's going to be him and his maker, and he can't say, yeah, but they. And that's the same with us. We will be meeting our maker. We will be looking, he will be asking why we did something, and we can't do, yeah, but he. Yeah, but she. No, why did you do it? Why did you do it? And that's where one of the ways I was going is when I meet my maker, why did I react the way I did to you? Or to anyone? Why? What does Mrs. O.C., I love her, because I can use her as an example and she knows I'm not meaning it. What if Mrs. O.C. called me a total Fruit Loop and I went off on her? What does Mrs. O.C. have to do with my actions, really? Think about that. If I turn around I love you, O.C. I'm sorry. I'll tell you why I'm laughing in a minute. But if I turn around and react, that's where I have control, and that's where I'm expected to have control. The taming of the tongue is the hardest thing to do. The taming of the feelings is the hardest thing to do. If you're living off your feelings, you're not living life. If you're letting your feelings control you, you're not living life. I mean, that's just a simple thing with Cain and Abel. God did ask Cain, where's your brother? Or why are you so angry? Don't you know if you let your anger get control of you, sin is lurking at the door? And, you know, it's the first lesson in the Bible that we need to control how we feel. Why are you angry? We can't say, oh, it's not my fault I'm angry, because we're being told through Cain and Abel, if you are a believer, that, you know what? There's a way to control your anger. Why are you so angry? Don't you know when you get angry, sin is lurking at your door and you're more apt to sin. You're more apt to be enticed to do something that you will regret in the end. And it just so happens, Cain slew his brother Abel because he was jealous and upset that God took his sacrifice over his. All right? He accepted Abel's offering and didn't really accept Cain's offering for some reason. I don't know the whole story. I wasn't there. My daughter would tell you I was there, but I was not there. Okay? So, OC called me a flying fruitcake. Good morning, Petrol. OC called me a flying. The reason why I was laughing at that is I do have my sister-in-law that doesn't talk to me anymore. Well, we're not going to go into that. I shouldn't have said it that way because I'm not out to trash talk anyone or to reveal stuff like that. But I do have a sister-in-law. And when she was dating my brother, she was from Canada. She was a Canuck. And when I say those things, it's out of terms of endearment. My grandmother was Canadian French. And she turned around and she was very, very, she called herself a puddle jumper. So anyways, puddle jumper, whatever. So one day she was missing my brother really, really bad and we were in chat. And she wasn't getting back to me at all. So I went, hello, Earth to unidentified flying frog. And that's why I was laughing, because I was just thinking about that. I called her a flying frog. And you know that Christmas, I actually found wind chimes with a frog with wings on them. And I bought them right away. Gave them to her. And she started laughing. She goes, it's a effing flying frog. And she couldn't stop laughing. And that's a funny story. So anyways, controlling my anger and controlling how I make people, I feel, will in turn calm me down so that I can not affect people as much in the end. Because that's the other thing Jesus said, forgive them, Father, they do not know what they do. Okay? If I know what I'm doing, then I can't have excuses. There's no more excuses. I know what I'm doing. This week, I already told you, I was triggered, and because I was triggered, everybody else was guilty about talking behind my back. In my head, it wasn't happening. Everybody was talking behind my back, and every time I said something and somebody didn't say hi back to me right away, all of a sudden, they're against me. If I know I'm doing that and that's not what reality was, it's my job to control how I'm reacting. Has nothing to do with anybody else. So I'm working on monetization. I'm working on trying to get this organized and trying to figure things out. I mean, my screen right now isn't the best. I want to put my face up on the screen. I need a green screen to do it, and I tried to do green screen in my, because Dr. Fleming told me you do it in the program that does the videos. I looked for it for the green screen option in my video camera, and I don't see it. So I went to look in Zoom, because we have Zoom meetings with the teachers, and I found where you can black things out, but I did not find a program for a green screen itself that I can put something in the background. So I'm struggling. I am using OBS, and I want to take, when I do videos, and put a green screen behind me, because I don't feel everybody should have to see where I am. I don't want people to see where I am. But it's helpful to see people that are talking to you, especially with something like this. So anyways, when I was writing my book, we're going to go back in the circle, and science isn't forgiven of when you put out misinformation. So I was struggling, and this is where Kevin came in. I saw Kevin on Kevin Baker, and I asked him the simple question about what something meant in a paper that I was reading about borderline. Because I was doing intensive research about borderline, because if you put a book out there, it's unforgiving if you mess up. So I'm citing my sources. I was getting a big bibliography for it. It would have taken up pages in and of itself. And so I'm listening to Kevin, and he, that's where I met Kevin, and that's where I come from doing extensive research about the borderline personality disorder, and not understanding the papers some of the things I was reading in the papers. And Kevin's been more than a big help with that. Then I'm thinking last night, which is a very dangerous thing for me to think, how YouTube is actually, in different platforms of video, is actually replacing the book. Honestly. People are more apt to watch a video than they are to pick up a book and buy a book. What do I mean by that? You see it every day. They're plugging books on videos, but who here buys books once a week? It used to be, when I was growing up in the 80s, you bought a book, or you went to the library, you got a book out, and you read it within a week or two. And then you went and got another one. That's not happening anymore. And Kevin Baker had a show last night about they were talking about virtual virtual reality. And what is his name? Okay. I'm old. And Scotty was talking about the virtual reality platforms and how people are probably going to be stuck in them if they do come out. And I'm thinking that's kind of where everything's going. If we get there. If we don't destroy ourselves before we get there. So, the videos, to me, might be a better way to go because of the borderline and the lack of attention I do have. And I can choose when I stream and still get the information that I wanted to get out there. And honestly, it might be an even better platform to do it because I will not claim to be anything but a person with borderline that's been borderline for a good 40 plus years. That was misdiagnosed until 4 years ago. That's all I'll claim to be. That's it. I'm not. School was out of the question. Every time I got to where my reading deficit was, I was gone. I quit. I didn't have an identity. It's a good thing, though. I don't know if I'd want to be in virology right now or in the DNA field, because those were the two things I was looking at with biology, was virology and DNA, because that's where I saw the money was going. And with the virology, it was more like I wanted to work in a lab in a hospital to help the ER diagnose people quicker, so that they could really, 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 really be helpful. That's all I wanted to do. With the coffee thing, caffeine and stuff, I mentioned yesterday, my next video is going to be geared towards how we as a borderline can look at ingredients of different things and know how much of something we're putting in us. I drink way too much coffee. Caffeine. I always use memes with coffee in it and cats. I love kitty cats. I got 2. However, coffee and a borderline brain it just doesn't mix. Too much coffee in anybody's brain doesn't mix, especially when you are younger, in your teens, and your brain is pruning. It just seems like energy drinks and all that are geared towards the college students. Oh, let's keep you awake, and the high school students keep you awake so that you can cram all night so that you can pass that test. It's not having milk. And if you're not obese and if you don't have a problem with your weight, there's nothing wrong with having milk in your body. And my computer turned around and it froze for a minute. So, I mean, yesterday my computer had a crash. So I had to do what I was doing in 2 parts, and anyways. Oh God, I'm just waking up. Emily, my daughter's not really here. And so I don't know what to do with myself, which I know there's a lot to do. So, like I said, streaming would be more of an option than writing a book for me. Because as you can tell, this is me normally. I get off topic, I go in circles, and I forget what I'm saying. I'm an old lady. I'm getting old. And I forget words, and I forget how to say things. And sometimes when I'm talking, I'll switch out words and not realize I did it. And so that, too, with me is a really big thing, because when I'm typing and leaving things out, and I guess my brain thinks it already said it or typed it, but I'm leaving things out, other people are going, what is she saying? She's saying the wrong thing. And, like Horatius was very nice one time. And he said, I think you mean this. Instead of, another person. in that same thing was going off on me. So Horatius did it very nicely. That's what I like about the mods. They know where I'm coming from, and they get to know people before they pass judgment. Me, I wouldn't be a good mod for anybody because everybody would be placed in a timeout, facing the wall, or a memory wall with words written on it to remember who's boss. So, and that's what Emily was going to get when she was little. I was going to make a wall and put two people hugging, pictures at first for a kid to understand. Two people hugging, two people, and she was going to sit there and she was going to see the words when she was older, but see the images of what she could have done better or how she could have presented herself better. And just think about it. I had the only 2-year-old that put herself in timeout. You like that, Jack? I'm trying so hard to get through to people about that stuff. It's very difficult. Some people, they liken BPD to a borderline to a burn victim, and which is kind of accurate. Like every time you touch them, it hurts, but that doesn't do the whole of borderline justice. I think the video that I got the copyright strike on, the scene from Carrie, if you look at it through, that is in Carrie's brain and the connections in Carrie's brain and her emotions and all that and wanting to kill off those emotions. I think that scene is more indicative of what's going on in a borderline brain when they're triggered than anything. I mean, you know, I've heard like the burn victim, or it's very difficult to explain to somebody how your emotions, you get, everybody gets triggered, all right, with borderline, Jack. Even if they don't have borderline, they're triggered. You can get triggered. You get angry. Happens all the time. People get angry. And a lot of men can tell you they'll see red, and that's when they have no control. I blame testosterone. Hey, I can go and encounter Kev's little woman thing in my videos and start men passion. No, I wouldn't do that, though. No, I blame, a lot of men will see, if you've ever gotten angry to where you were saying red and you couldn't control what you were saying or doing. It happens in a person that doesn't have mental health issues maybe once out of the year, I think. For a borderline person, it happens daily. Not just once out of every 3 months or once out of the year. It's daily. And it sucks. Because you don't make very many friends. Not many people want to be around somebody who's that reactive to where they can't control themselves. So, I think that might be a good way to explain it, too. Because men do get, because of their testosterone levels, if they're, depending on where it is, you'll think of a bull elephant and when they're charging. You have a good day, Jack. I hope your car's cleaned. Is it you that was cleaning your car out? I forget. Let's see. Average watch time. I don't have my timer on here. Shunka. Come on. What's my time? Tell me my time. Three. Okay, I got 16 more minutes. And I'll be an hour. So, thank you, Jack. Thank you. So anyways, they're my two goals, and I got something to where, I could share it with you. I can show you what I got right now, but it's not in order. I love turning around and looking to see what's in products. And this week, the first video is going to be looking at the caffeine in certain popular healthcare products when they say there's zero caffeine in it. All right, how they get away with, people get away, or companies get away with saying zero caffeine, but there's actually is caffeine in some things. So you got to really be careful, because you're adding caffeine to caffeine to caffeine. It's very easy to overdose on that. Especially when, you get up, and if you're a kid or even adults, my girlfriend does it, the energy drinks, the 5-hour energy, and then you go to Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks, and you get your large coffee, then you're adding more caffeine. Oh my God, then you have a headache, so you take some meds, especially women. Oh, I got a headache, I got PMS, you got the Primus and PMS, take that, they're adding more caffeine. Then you have some cocoa, that's more caffeine. Then, there's hitting, then if you're a bodybuilder and your particular bodybuilding shake contains any caffeine, then that's another more caffeine. It's very, 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 very easy to overdose. I have a wake-up call. I think I found out why my knee hurts. It's not from falling. This has been going on for a day and a half, to where my knee is giving out, and it hurts like hell when it does it. It's almost like the joint of the kneecap actually goes out, and there's nothing there, and I almost fall. Well, that's a joint pain, right? So I'm looking up to see whether or not there's any, because I'm taking more melatonin than I should. And, I looked up melatonin toxicity, and sure enough, what's on melatonin toxicity? Joint pain. So maybe I'm taking a little bit too much. And the joint pain, with the study that I read, happens when you get older. So Mama Marie has to turn around and just take the dosage that's on the bottle. That's how much different natural things can do with your body without you realizing it. We tend to look up the wrong things. Oh my God, my knee is hurting. What's causing it? Okay, let's go to WebMD. Okay, knee pain. There's my symptom. Okay, falling. There's another symptom. Okay, what can cause it? I got a brain tumor. That's what we look at. That's not the way you should look at it. The internet says I have another brain tumor. Oh boy, I'm doomed. You look up a headache, you got a brain tumor. Don't do it. Don't do it. Look at what you're ingesting and see what the side effects are first, because that's where I've been messing up. And so now that I know that, what am I going to do? I'm only going to take the regular dose tonight if I need it. If I do not need it, I talked to my therapist, or my psychiatrist, about melatonin. And it's not a drug that builds up in your system, so I don't have to take it every day if I don't want to. I know that. So, if I start taking the right dosage every night, the knee pain might go away. It might go to say that I was taking too much melatonin. And that's me. I am the most important part of my medical health team. Bottom line. I am important. I got the power. But I gotta get the right power and I gotta control what I can control. I can't control you guys. I can't control anybody out there. I can't even control my daughter, okay? And that's where the power struggle ends up. I don't want to control my daughter. I want to guide her. Because I am raising a future adult. I'm not raising a child. I'm raising a future adult. So what do? I'm not going to shove things down her throat. I can't push her. I can guide her, though, and hope for the best. With that, my phone. With that, I think, is there anything you guys want to talk about? I always talk. Does anybody want to talk? Is anybody still there? See, right now, I'm feeling it. Nobody's getting back to me, so I feel nobody likes me. That is not the case. People like me. I like people. See how high maintenance I am? Nobody's there, and I couldn't see the stream setting, the concurrent viewers, so I was worried. You know, that's how my brain is working. And it's nothing to do with you guys, and it's nothing to do with what anybody did wrong. Yeah, it's not, but that's the borderline brain. They didn't get back to me right away. Oh no, they don't like me. They're doing, you know? And it's not, that's not the case. That's not the case. And that's what I've been battling all week long. That was my struggle. Somebody else might have a different struggle. And you know what? If you're borderline and you're watching this, guess what? Everybody has the problem. It's not just you. You can't say nobody knows what you feel like because there's always something equivalent that you can you can turn around and have them understand. Just like I said with the borderline, with the anger and the, you know, all that, I can pull this out. I can say everybody, you know, especially males, gets angry at one time or another where they're so angry they see red and they couldn't control what they did. Most people have that experience. Okay? Even Jesus got angry. Believe it or not. Jesus got angry and he went off. Believe it or not. Jesus wasn't this guy that turns around and was, oh, gee, peace and love be with you all, you know. He wasn't like that all the time. What does it say? It says he caught people in his father's house buying and changing, exchanging money. And what did Jesus do? He went off. He went off. He turned the tables. He threw the tables around, basically, and started screaming at them. So even Jesus got angry in the flesh. He had a righteous anger, which means he knew exactly what was going on for where he could get angry. We do not. But he went off. Don't beat yourself because you go off. Just make it that much more important in your agenda to try to control yourself and learn how to control yourself and say there must be a way and pull something out of your ass and keep trying not to go off. I had to quit drinking when I was 30 so that I didn't have those issues as much as I was. Because alcohol and borderline and anger do not mix. They do not mix. And when you do that and you affect somebody else in a bad way, that is on you. That's not on them. No matter what they did that you're saying that they did to make you angry, doesn't fucking matter. You are responsible for your own actions. If you hurt them, who's going to jail? Not them. And if you have a child and you do something stupid like that and you get put in jail, that's not a legacy for your child to have. They need mommy and daddy out of jail at all times. So what I did was, since I couldn't control it and couldn't control my anger, I turned around and said, beer, alcohol, person, alcohol, person. Guess who won out? The person did. It's a no-brainer. Was it easy to turn around and come out of the alcoholic and alcoholism? No. But what it boiled down to was my alcohol drinking was making me react and not helping. Actually, it wasn't making me react, but it was not helping the situation inside my brain to not make me go off. I was choosing to put that alcohol in me. Nobody slapped me in the wrist and said, oh, you poor thing, you're an alcoholic. It's okay. It's not okay. Yeah, sure, alcoholism is a disease, but who's choosing to put the alcohol in their body? Unless somebody is physically holding you down, putting a freaking siphon in your mouth and pouring beer down it, there is nobody that's responsible for that alcohol use but you. Get it? Okay, I'm done. I really didn't mean to be rude and yell, but that's gotta be said. Because too many people sit there and say they can't quit their addictions. Where there's a will, there's a way. And when you're affecting other people around you negatively, that's not cool. I'm going to calm myself down and I'm going to say, guess what? There's hope. You can do it. You can do it. If you try hard, there is hope. If you want to quit drinking and control yourself, I'm not a dry drunk. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm in control. That's what I am. I don't drink. I'm in control. Change the way you think. If to me, in my brain, if you're calling me an alcoholic, that means I'm still attached to the alcohol. Dry drunk, I'm still attached to the alcohol. But if I'm in control, I'm not attached to it. In my brain, that works. I love you all. I really, really do, and I'm sorry for getting angry. I do have an anger issue with alcoholism. You got to change your mind on how you look at things to try to control how you're feeling inside and your emotions. It's 1:03, so just about out of time. I shouldn't have gotten that passionate. I'm very passionate about that subject. That's why I was yelling, and I'm sorry. And I'm sorry if I triggered anybody, but when I get passionate about something and when I know firsthand what it's like, I know it's hard with drinking and alcohol and all that. It's one of the hardest things I ever did. But I didn't totally succeed with it. I mean, AA didn't work for me. Those meetings didn't work for me because I was still connected to the alcohol. I had to disconnect from every part of my alcoholism there was for me to be in control. Because that's what I am. I'm not an alcoholic. I'm in control. You know, even with BPDs, I call you, you know, I'll sit there and go BPD to address you, but it's because I don't know your names. I know your diagnosis, but you are not your diagnosis. I am not BPD. I am diagnosed with BPD. There's a difference. With a diagnosis, you can change it. When you put I am in front of it, you become it. Get that? A diagnosis, you can try to change, you can change. When you become it, you can't change it. I am not BPD. I am diagnosed with BPD. It's a diagnosis. I am a child of God. I am a mother. I am is a very, very powerful 2 words to say, because anytime something precedes I am or you are, that's what you become, and that's what they become to you. When Moses was at that mountain, and I'm sorry, I'm not gonna, you know, I'm apologizing, but I'm apologizing to those who don't believe and don't believe in the stories. I do. But when Moses was on the mountain, there's my stop button. Okay. When Moses was on the mountain, he turned around and he went up to the burning bush, and God gave him commandments and gave him instructions. And Moses said, "Who do I say sent me for them to believe me?" And what God said was, "I am." Have a good day. I'll see you all in the next. Please hit that subscribe button and like and comment if you want. Have a good day. Bye.